Is your channel done? Are you over? Are you giving up gardening? Are we giving up gardening? Are we going to close our gardens up? Are we going to take everything away? Are we leveling the property? Are we moving? Are we disappearing? Are we gone? Robbie and Gary Gardening Easy is gone. I am getting so many messages on that. I'm not sure what is going on, but let me explain to you exactly for us what is going on. Hi, this is Robbie from Southern California, and the messages and comments I'm getting from all over, I noticed, is not from California. So you're contacting me from Nevada, Texas, Tennessee, and New Jersey. Apparently it's been a big news story throughout the United States that California is falling apart. No, California has created a new mandatory for certain areas, like over 2 million homes, and it'll be a huge number. Keep that in mind. Over 2 million homes are going to have to change things. And what it's called, I've got notes here, is Zone 0. Now, we live in an area that, yes, is potentially a fire area, and we have always kept everything right to where it's supposed to be. The fire department comes out quite often. They check. We even know them by names. They know us. We also have other people come out and check, and I'll talk about that in a minute. What this Zone 0 is, it's a new order in California. Anybody in a potentially fire zone has to go by this new ordinance. Now, the ordinance, I'll explain to you what that is, and I think if you stop and analyze what they're asking, you'll understand. Now, like I said, we are in an area that is a fire area, and we keep everything well maintained. We have been inspected by 2 different companies. The fire department, I saw them out here recently, and then I've also had the insurance company come out here twice already. And they're going to be the tough ones, the insurance company, and everything was beautiful. In fact, I walked with one. Well, Gary walked with one, and I talked to the other when they came out, and they explained to me what they were actually looking for. Now, let me back up on this Zone 0. I feel like calling it a political stunt, though it's not that bad. But the point is, if this Zone 0 was in effect in January, it would not have made a difference with those 2 major fires that went through and devastated so many lives. 0. Speak of Zone 0, 0 effect. Number 1, you had one fire that had no water. The fire department was going out there. There was no water, and I heard from multiple people that it took a long time to get out there, and there was a fire like a week before and nobody checked on it to go back. I mean, normally here, if there's an issue, I've seen the fire department hang around and keep coming back and checking. There was too many issues on that. You didn't have enough hands on deck and no water. So this Zone 0 wouldn't do a thing. They weren't even doing any clearance. That was a major surprise to Gary and I to find out that the whole Malibu area and Pacific Palisades, though a lot of the homes looked like they were maintained really well by the owners, the surrounding area was let go. And they were told, these areas, to clean up and get their act together, and it wasn't done. I don't want to get into this because it's just been, there's so much out there. You can go watch so many videos, raw footage of people saving their homes, because a lot of them that saved their homes. I have a friend that saved his home during a fire by getting his family out, sitting there and putting out all the spot fires and saving his entire home where things around him burned. I've got a friend and somebody I know from Pacific Palisades that their home didn't burn, but they can't go back. It's unlivable. It smells so bad. It's so toxic there that they're still living someplace else. I have another friend in the Eaton fire by Altadena and Pasadena. He lost his home. He lost his life. I mean, he's alive, but he had Alzheimer's at the time, but mild enough where he could go to the store and drive and have a normal life. And after he lost his home, he moved in with somebody, the stress and the unbelievable things that went on. He has now, it's devastated. He had to go move in with family and the property's been sold. So there's been a lot of people that have been devastated by these fires. And there, what was the problem there? There was not enough hands on deck. Where was everybody during the fire? They were in Pacific Palisades fighting it. Instead of having a full team and everybody coming out right away, it was just too spread because 150 fire engines were sitting in a parking lot somewhere that needed to be fixed. I don't want to get into this because it goes into too many political things, and it's hurt a lot of people, and I'm hurt by that. Let me get back to this zone 0. It's not going to affect us at all. In fact, part of it could be a blessing. Now you think, how is that? The big thing is the mandatory thing in the fire area, so it's not going to be everybody, is 5 feet clearance all the way around the house. And in certain other areas, like if you have a big deck, you may have to have 5 feet over that. 5 feet. Just 5 feet. I've seen people come on and tell people that they're going to have to spend $5,000 to $10,000 to fix their property. So how are they going to get the money? I don't know where this is coming from. Maybe for some people it can cost that much. But if you've got a fence, you cannot have a wooden fence up against your house 5 feet from your house back. You have somebody come out if you have to, cut the wooden fence and put a plastic one in there, or put chain link or a metal fence, or take it down altogether or change the configuration of it. If you have to, we don't have anything like that. You can have cement, but you can't have a wooden fence on there. The other thing too, on the 5 feet, you are allowed to have certain flower pots, and they can be up to 5 gallons. Now, I'll get into what's going on with us in a minute. 5-gallon pots. Do you know how much we can grow in a 5-gallon pot? Do you know what we can do with that? So you're stepping away and saving your property if a fire comes. Like I said, if all this was mandate during the Pacific Palisades fire, it wouldn't have made a difference at all. If you look at the footage of both of those big fires and you saw the walkthrough, a lot of people had their gardens still growing. The flowers, the plants all around the house, but the house was gone. The other thing, though, I want to bring up that Gary told me to bring up is the vents. You have to cover all your house vents with a fine mesh, 1/8 of an inch or smaller. So if embers from fires from far away blow, they won't get into your attic. That is a big thing. And another thing is garage doors open. That was an issue for some people. If they left their garage door open and they left and an ember flew in there, it ignited the garage if it's attached to the house, and it can create a fire. So is anything happening to our channel? Absolutely not. The other thing that I want to bring up, all new housing in the fires or anybody building anywhere, if they're in a fire area, have to have this mandate done where it's 5 feet clearance all around the house. So it will have to be in their contract when they're drawing up the specs of the house. For people that, like us, they can come out, they can walk the perimeter. Remember, they got to go over 2 million homes. That's going to take a lot of manpower. And when they check, if there's things they don't like, oh, that tote's too big. We don't like that. This has got to be changed. I have 3 years. 3 years from now to do it. I could probably do it with Gary, everything that has to be done all around our gardens here, and probably in a week. But I have 3 years. So if I have to move some of the things that are too close in this 5-foot radius and pull it out, that's fine. Do you know what kind of potato garden I can do all the way around the house in 5-gallon buckets? It's not combustible. I can use a 5-gallon bucket or other planters. You're not going to put a whiskey barrel there because they don't want wood up against the house because they think it's going to cause the house to go. There's a lot you can do. So would it change things? It might change a little bit. I might be having a massive potato garden all the way around, or growing beets or onions. I've grown leeks in 5-gallon buckets. There's a lot of things I could do. So I can have a garden all the way around the house. Now for us, of course, we have a lot more property than a lot of other people. But again, keep in mind, if you're in the city, a lot of these places won't have the mandate to do this. It's only in certain fire zones or fire potential zones. So if you've got a really tiny property, you will have to get creative. That's all. And you've got 3 years. If you're there already and you're not building it right now, you've got 3 years to comply to this new zone 0. And if they tell you they need it done right away, hand them the law, tell them to go back and read it. But I will tell you one thing. This is very, very important. I have a friend that helped me years ago when there was an issue, and he's an attorney. He said, when somebody comes out, you be as sweet as pie. You be as nice as you can be, and you just thank them for everything. The nicer you are, the easier the whole process will be. They went to his house and inspected. They walked all the way around this property. They came back afterwards and said, you know, we got a problem here. And he said, what's the problem? You got cats. He goes, that's true. Well, we found the water bowl at the back door. And he goes, yeah, but we didn't find the water bowl at the front door. And he said, oh no, why? What's going on? Well, that cat has to walk all the way around. If it's at the front door, it's got to go to the back door to get water. And we want, this is like out of the blue, they told us, we want a water bowl at the front door as well. And he looked, and some people would be combating and say, no, the cat runs all over. He's in the neighbor's yard. He's here. He turned around and said, I never thought about this. This is so helpful. Thank you so much, because I don't want anything to happen to my cats. And I never thought. He thanked him, and they wrote almost nothing on the report. You've got to do that. You've got to thank them. I had somebody come out once for an inspection, and I'll be honest and tell you, they came out and they needed to go look around. That was fine. And he asked me, would you walk with me? And I said, where? And he goes, around the property. And I said, oh, no, I can't. And he goes, why? We got snakes, I said, and I'd rather not be walking around there. My husband wasn't home. But you're more than welcome to walk the whole property. And he looked around, he goes, there's snakes? Yeah, there's gopher snakes, but there's also rattlesnakes. So just be careful and just go ahead. Feel free to look at anything you want to look at. I watched him walk down and stretch his neck, look around, never went down. Came back, said, you know, everything looks great. And he left. All I'm saying is be as nice as pie. Read the ordinance if you're in California, because this is for the entire state of California. Be nice, because fighting with anybody that does come out to inspect only makes things worse. And that's all you really have to do. But the big thing is, for homes that are existing, for anything like changing a wooden fence or pulling plants away, you've got 3 years. So you can take your time, enjoy the holidays right now. And, you know, when spring comes, when you're starting your gardening, if that's what you're going to do, start pulling out those plants if they're right up against your house, or changing what you need to, and start doing it little by little. 3 years you have. A lot of people move within the 3 years and get a new house. So don't stress out. Please, you don't have to send in the comments, are you and Gary done? Are you done gardening? The wood chips are way down. They're not up against the house. Any wood chips that may have flown a little too close could be raked away. 5 feet. You don't want wood chips all over up against the house anyways. And you really don't want a lot of brush all around your house, because that brings places for your snakes or your rodents to hide. So that clearance is actually a good thing. And remember, you can put flower pots there. And so you can change things around. You want to put plants that maybe are succulents or vegetable plants. And there are some that may be more combustible. You don't want that there anyways. So I think I've gone over everything there. The grace period is 3 years. You know, if they come and tell you, you've got to do this right away, they're not going to do that. They've got the laws. Say, I'm going to start on it right away. Yes, you know, and we'll be getting people in to help us. Say whatever you have to, but I know I've got 3 years. This will be done long before the 3 years. Don't fight with anybody. Get it done. A lot of it is a good policy. As long as something happens and this is cleared and we got water and all hands on deck, really great personnel coming out from the fire department, you know, they're all great people, and you have enough people to come out and fight it, we should all be okay. We all look out for our neighbors. I do. Our neighbors look out for me. and I think everything's going to be fine. I don't see any of this being a negative issue for us. So calm down. We're not going anywhere. We love it here, and we may just change a couple things up. Pull some of the big totes away and get potatoes growing. Like I said, leeks, onions. There's a lot of stuff we can grow in a 5-gallon bucket. That's beneficial for us. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And go ahead, comment, tell me what you think. Throw your comments in there. I can always come back and we can discuss this matter on the Zone 0 laws that is just going into effect. Bye-bye. Boy, it could be a blessing. Could you imagine all the potatoes I grow? It would really drive me to grow a whole lot more potatoes than I am right now. I gotta harvest the ones I've got.